Welcome to the Corpus Christi Public Libraries Crafters Corner.
Today's craft is mini piñatas. The supplies you'll need are a couple of sheets of cardstock, some tissue paper, some old newspaper, a paintbrush, a pencil, some water and glue, a ruler, and a hot glue gun. So for today's example, I'm going to be doing this little emoji. You can do any shape you want, of course. So I'll need a circle for the top and bottom, as well as a plain strip for the side. So I've just got any old object to go and make my circles. I'm going to trace them out. Do 2 of them, of course. And then I'll cut them out along with my strip from a different piece. Alright, now I've got my circles cut out along with my strip. I'm going to glue them together. This is when I'm using the glue gun. I'm just going to do it a bit by bit, mostly because the glue is very hot and it dries kind of quick. So just put a little bit, kind of stand it up right along, and just work my way around. Now I have to be extra careful because this glue is very, very hot. I don't want to burn myself. Now when you get to the end, if your strip is a little long, that's not a problem. You can either trim it or just glue it over. Alright, now I've got everything glued together. Next, we'll want to cut your newspaper into a bunch of strips because you're going to paper mache all around it. So I also need to get that ready. So I'm going to go ahead and get my water, my glue. Now just remember that a little does go a long way. Get that mixed up. Alright, now that I've got my glue ready, I'm going to go ready to paper mache that newspaper down. I like to use the paintbrush just because it helps keep everything a little bit neater. So just lay it down, add a little bit more glue, and just keep going until you have your whole shape covered. One thing I do want to mention is you do want to keep the lighter side covering, because when you layer your tissue paper, it does come out a little bit. So that just means you gotta layer more tissue paper. So next, you're going to want to cut your tissue paper into 2-inch strips, and the first layer we're going to cover is your side edge, mostly because you have all these words in color and you just want to kind of cover that up. Alright, so now I've got my edge all covered up. I'm going to get some more of the tissue paper that's at 2 inches, and I'm going to cut in about 1 inch. Not all the way, just about halfway, so that's about 1 inch. And you're just making your little tassel, or little ruffles really. You can make them as small or as big as you'd like. Now with these, they're all ruffled up. Alright, so now we've got our ruffles down, we'll just start gluing it down. I'm going to still use some of that paper mache glue. I've got plenty. Now once you get to this edge, it's not a problem, you're just going to tear it off and then keep going. Now make sure you definitely layer over this white part, this area right here, because you really want to try to cover up all of that. When you're adding your glue, you're just adding the glue to the part that isn't ruffled, because then your little ruffles will stick down. And just keep doing this all the way till you get to the top. Alright, now that I've glued up all that top part, you just get some scissors, cut along the edge, so just go ahead and trim out the circle again. It's okay if nothing's perfect. cut right along those edges, just so you can get your shape back. Now, if you do want to clean up your edges a little bit more, you can, of course, get some tissue and layer it on the edge. Alright, and there's our mini piñatas. I printed out these embellishments. Of course, you can always just draw them on paper and glue them on. Thank you for watching, and join us next time on Crafter's Corner.